Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Manufacturer's Efficiency webinar series with me, Gina Tabasso of Barracuda B2B Marketing, Rich Bello of Schooley Mitchell, and Matt Wizeman of Focal Point Coaching. We're here today to talk about must-have marketing strategies. So let's get started. Why do I need marketing? I get that question all the time in the manufacturing space. A lot of organizations tend to be sell organizations, and they wonder, why do I need marketing? Well, my first answer, outside of the 3 bullet points that I have on the screen, is to constantly generate leads and nurture those leads so your funnel never taps out. You need to make sure that you're always filling the funnel. But in addition to leads and filling the funnel, these are two other valuable things that marketing can do. Number one, data. Tracking is so important. Where is the buyer coming into the funnel? How are they engaging with you? What is the buyer journey like? What's the conversion point? How many leads do you need to get X number of appointments, to get X number of quotes, to get X number of sales? And so we need to be able to track all that data to look at our ROI and how effective our marketing is being done. And leads, of course, convert to cash flow. So if you constantly generate leads, your bottom of funnel and your cash flow never tap out. Now, one thing I wanted to mention is that marketing is a process, just like any other process. So I guess the next question is, why do I need a marketing strategy? Well, just like how products are manufacturers and how manufacturers' goals are to reduce variation, increase quality, streamline production, reduce waste, you want to be able to define, measure, analyze, improve, and control your process. Marketing is a process just like any other. So think about it. Would you go to bed tonight dreaming about a product you want to manufacture tomorrow and start making it? No, you wouldn't, because you can't be successful unless you create the appropriate process. It's the same thing with marketing. So a marketing strategy is how you create that process. What is a strategic way to start your marketing and implement it? And I find a lot of times manufacturers have the scattershot approach where it's throw money at the wall, hope it sticks. Let's try this and then try that and then try this. And then we wonder why marketing is not successful, and we see it as a cost center rather than a revenue generator, because we're not doing it strategically. So that is why marketing strategy is so important. So the next thing that people say, okay, why do I need marketing? Why do I need a strategy? Great. Well, where do I start? So where do I start? Here's 5 places you can start. Number one, you need the expertise, whether that's in-house or out of house. You may have a CMO in-house. You may have a marketing person that is more junior in their career. You may have a marketing department. You may have an agency that you use, or you may not be doing any marketing at all. But to be effective, I see manufacturers a lot of times, the CEO is updating the website and the senior vice president of sales is creating the sell sheets. That's not the best use of their time, and that's not their area of expertise. And also, you're taking up valuable resources that they could be allocating elsewhere in the business. So you need to make sure you have the marketing expertise in place. The next thing, CRM, customer relationship management. A lot of manufacturers are still using Excel spreadsheets as their CRM. And you say, well, that works for our company. Well, yes, it works to house data. You can look at data, but can you look at the data that I mentioned earlier? the buyer journey, the conversion points, the engagement points. What are they looking at on your website? Where are they spending their time? What are they looking at on social media? What are they looking at on a YouTube channel? You can't really put all those data points together. They're in separate, disparate systems, and it's not all being cohesive and cumulative to really look at each lead that comes into your system and where they've traveled on their journey. The third place I always start is a website. So all organizations have a website, but is the website effective? Is it the workhorse that it should be? It's not just a business card to send people to. It is a workhorse, and it is supposed to be generating leads for you through search engine optimization, through your keywords, through content, through thought leadership. You want people to not come to your website and leave your website because they don't find value. You want to capture them. You want them to stay on your website, fill out a form, and become a qualified lead. There are a lot of tactics and methods we can use to improve a website. The next place to start is SEO, which is search engine optimization. I have worked for a lot of small manufacturers, and what I've learned is how to get the most bang for no buck. They didn't have big budgets. They couldn't throw tens of thousands of dollars at ads and at Google ads and LinkedIn ads. So how can you drive traffic and get leads without spending all that money? It's SEO. And a lot of digital marketing agencies have taught people that SEO means keywords on a website. It is so much more than that. That is one small component of SEO. SEO includes claiming local listings, getting backlinks, disavowing toxic backlinks, contributed content to trade newspapers and trade publications, email marketing through trade associations, PR and media relations, and getting those backlinks from their websites. It is a big picture strategy, and it involves a lot of content. And then, of course, the last thing you can do is spend money on ads. Wherever your customers live, you can do Google ads, social media ads. You can do what's called programmatic advertising now, things like geofencing and IP address targeting, which mean, in fancy words and layman's terms, picture you go to a trade show and you've got one salesperson who can only walk the floor and meet so many people. Well, you can do something called geofencing, and you can target and serve up ads to every mobile device that's in that building. You can also do IP address targeting, so you pull the IP addresses of everybody that's in that room. And then even after the show ends, for up to 6 months after the show ends, you can serve up ads to their devices, and not just their cell phone, any smart device they have, their laptop, their iPad, their television. You can continue to serve up ads to them after the fact. There's so much that can be done with pay-per-click nowadays and programmatic advertising. And you've all experienced retargeting. Think about, you've gone to a website to look for a new pair of shoes, right? And then all of a sudden, everywhere you go, you see these shoe ads. You're on Facebook, there's shoe ads. You're on YouTube, there's shoe ads. That's remarketing or retargeting. That's where they collect the data, what you're looking at on the internet, and then they serve up ads everywhere you go. So that's just a little insider stuff about where you can start. It sounds overwhelming, so I put it in this order because it is a process. So start with the expertise. Next thing, CRM. Next thing, website. And you build. Each step builds upon itself so that your house of cards doesn't fall down, that you've got a strong foundation and a cumulative marketing process. So where do I go from here? Okay, we already figured out where we start. Now, where do we go? So to get everything done that I just talked about, you need to, of course, have a budget. So I want to talk a little bit about budget. People always ask me, well, what should my marketing budget be? In the bigger world outside of manufacturing, the usual marketing budget is 8 to 10% of revenue, but that includes B2C businesses, which they spend a lot more money on marketing than B2B businesses. So in the manufacturing space, I would usually tell people 3 to 5% of revenue is what you should be spending on your marketing budget. But most of the time, I don't even see manufacturers spending 0.5%. So if you're a $33 million manufacturer and you only want to spend $40,000 a year on your marketing budget, that is not going to move the dial very far. And then again, you're going to wonder why your marketing's failing. You have to allocate the appropriate budget to it, just like you do to every other area of your business. The second thing is you need an annual strategy. So I wouldn't just go willy-nilly with what I just mentioned in the previous slide. Let's get a CRM. Let's update our website. Let's do some SEO. Let's do some pay-per-click. Have someone come in and analyze your business. Look at your industries, your channels, your marketing mix, your analytics, what your goals are. Do a SWOT analysis. Interview your sales team. Interview your customers and do voice of customer work. Really do competitive research, look at your competition, and put together a comprehensive annual marketing strategy that is methodical and systematic. You would do that on your shop floor. On your shop floor, you wouldn't go just willy-nilly doing a project. You would create a system in place for its success. I say the same thing about a marketing process. To be successful, it has to be strategic. The next thing is guided implementation. So as I said, you need a marketing resource that can guide that implementation and really make sure that it is being adjusted appropriately. If it's not working, don't keep doing the same thing for 12 months. Tweak and adjust and go on to the next step and the next step. Build upon it cumulatively and in a smart manner. So the last thing is sales process. And I always tell my clients and manufacturers, unfortunately, and Matt can attest to this. He sees this with his clients too. Sales and marketing a lot of times are working at cross purposes. They're not working in lockstep, and they need to inform each other. So when I go in and look at marketing, I analyze sales process and I say, what is your sales cycle? What is your sales process? Your sales playbook? Your sales training? Are your salespeople machinists and welders who've come up from the shop floor and are technically brilliant and can talk product specifications, but they don't know how to close and convert? To show an ROI on marketing, you really need to make sure that your sales and marketing are working together and informing each other. They are the boots on the streets. They are interfacing with your customers every day. They have so much valuable information that they can bring back to the marketing team to create effective materials. And so I always love I have Sandler sales training and a Sandler sales background. And I love to talk to salesmen and really get them on board collaboratively to work for the greater good of the company. We are here for the greater good of the company, for its success. And if the company is successful, we as individuals will be successful. And so to be collaborative and to work together as a team rather than in silos is so important. And I cannot stress enough how marketing can only succeed if it's working with sales, because there is a dependency there.
I think that's a great point, Gina. And I can just speak a little bit from my experience. Before I started my franchise in Schooley Mitchell, I worked in the professional sports industry. And that was always an issue that we would find at different teams, is the marketing team and the sales team weren't always quite on the same page. And in that industry, marketing a lot of the times is about, okay, this is our brand or this is our messaging, and we want to create cool, fun, exciting content about the games and highlights and all that. And that's good and well, but at the end of the day, like you were just talking about, Gina, if marketing isn't working towards generating sales and more revenue for the company, it's not really in line with doing what you said in terms of pushing the business forward and helping
Mm-hmm.
everyone be more successful. So we had to sometimes sit down with a marketing team and a sales team to make sure that they understood that from both ends. Like everything that they were doing was to support each other, and they needed to be on the same page in order for that to be successful.
I'm so grateful, Rich, that you shared that example because, yes, I'll be honest with you, marketing people, they are creatives and they love to create fun things and do beautiful things. And that's part of what I'm very Lean Six Sigma data driven. So I've got the creative side. Don't get me wrong. I came up through the content ranks and I was a copywriter and I also am an artist. But you have to have that data driven analytical mind, that strategic process mind. And I understand completely what you're saying that a lot of times marketing folks don't understand that and they don't have a sales background. Years ago, I was just a marketing person. My life changed when I got my sales training and did a year of sales mastery and really learned to speak the language of salespeople and to understand their pain. You know, I joke, I say, when it's almost like it is like a joke when a marketer, a salesperson, and a manufacturer come into a room together, what happens? It's like the Tower of Babel. They're speaking three different languages. You know, marketers, SEO and PPC and CRM and CMS, and the salespeople are like, you know, commission, commission, sell, 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 and the manufacturers like ROI, and you know, they're all doing their own thing.
Mm.
So I think my blessing in my training is really with the Lean Six Sigma, I can speak the language of manufacturers. With the Sandler sales training, I can speak the language of salespeople. And then I come up through a marketing background, and you can be a translator. You can translate marketing into the language of those two partners so that everybody's on the same page. All right. Well, I blew through that fast because I'm a fast talker and I like to be succinct with my presentations. So the next step is really for anybody watching this webinar or attending, even watching it after the fact. I'm offering a 30-minute consultation at no charge for anyone who attends. I'd be happy to brainstorm with you or give you some advice. Feel free to ask questions of me. I'm here as a resource. Even if you have a marketing person or a marketing department, I'm happy to guide you. I had someone who wasn't a client, just a manufacturer I knew who said, "Hey, I hired a web developer to redevelop my website. And here's what they're doing. Could you let me know if I'm going down the right path or not?" Because they trusted me. They knew I wasn't going to lie to them. And I looked at what the developer was doing and I was like, man, you found a great developer. Great. They are doing exactly what they should be doing, exactly what I would have done. I told them that for free. I looked at it for free. If I didn't think they were doing a great job, I have other resources they could use. But I'm really here to help. My goal is to grow this industry. Again, it's the big picture, it's teamwork. If we grow manufacturing, we keep the country strong, we grow the economy, we create jobs, and it's a win-win for everybody. So the three of us started this webinar series because we are truly invested in this industry for those reasons. So here's my contact info, which you'll be able to see when you refer back to the recorded version of this website. And here's the info on the three of us. So Rich, could you introduce yourself and then you, Matt, because I'd like people to understand what my two partners do if this is your first time viewing one of our webinars.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Gina. Rich Bello, Schooley Mitchell is my company. We're a franchise, and what we do is cost reduction analysis. So we help our clients look at their different vendor relationships in a number of different indirect cost categories, and we help them negotiate better rates with their vendors so that they can improve their bottom line, lower their costs, and make sure that they're as profitable as can be.
Thanks, Rich. Matt?
Yeah, thank you, Gina. Matt Wizeman, Focal Point Business Leadership Coaching. I focus my practice on helping business owners prepare their businesses for exit or for sale, for transition to the next generation, as well as provide business leadership coaching for managers and executives and business owners to help them reach their goals and objectives.
Thank you. And that's why we're the dream team, because I tell people a lot of times people don't have the budget for marketing, and Rich can go in and say, hey, I can find cash that you didn't know you were losing, capital that you can reinvest into your business to hire the people who can make you money and make you successful, like Matt and I, that we can grow your sales, grow your marketing, and get you really in a position where your company is valuable for sale or for handing off to a succession plan. But we can really help you round out your business and act as advisors. So the next and last thing to cover is, what are we talking about in our future webinars? So in February, we're going to have Matt stepping up, talking about why every manufacturing owner needs an exit strategy. And most of the ones I meet do not have one. And they wait until they're ready to retire to start this, and it's too late. It takes sometimes 3 to 5 years to get a company ready to sell. And so Matt's going to talk a little bit more about that. In March, Rich is going to talk about finding savings in your waste expenses. That's a huge area of savings that people overlook. And I remember one of my former companies, we did that, and it was exponential how much we saved in waste reduction. And that's part of Lean Six Sigma. So I love reducing waste. In April, I'm back on board, and I'm going to be talking about Lean Six Sigma. So how do I apply it to marketing strategy, and why is Lean Six Sigma important? And then in May, we've got Matt stepping up again to address employee turnover. And always that workforce is still a huge problem, and it's going to become even worse with reshoring and onshoring, because with the tariffs in Canada and Mexico, it's going to bring a lot of business back to the U.S., and we don't have the staff to accommodate that extra business. So we're going to keep giving you tips and tricks as we can about topics and challenges in our industry, and how you can pivot and how you can really be agile in an ever-evolving marketplace. So if you have any questions, please drop them in the chat, in the comments rather, and we will be happy to address them. We'll be looking at all of those comments, or ping us individually. You have our contact information now. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We are here to help and address them for you, and really be a mastermind partnership. And that's it for today. So we'd like to thank you for attending and watching. Any feedback you have would be wonderful. If there's a topic you want to see in the future, let us know. We're open to suggestions. And everybody have a great day, stay safe, and talk to you next month.